This is Tom coming to you from Shanghai and I'm back for another Eurovision reaction video. We have the results of SanRemo 2020, Diodato with Fai Rumore, and he has accepted the ticket to Rotterdam. I'm going to watch one of his performances at SanRemo, then I'm going to talk about his chances in Eurovision and some changes I think that could be made in choosing the song for Eurovision from SanRemo. So let's kiki. So first of all, I was actually intending to watch the final, but when I clicked on the replay on the RA website, for some reason it flashed up a picture of the winner, which was so confusing. It was like sitting down to watch the show and it flashes a picture of Diodato holding the trophy. I was like, what the fuck? You just completely ruined the whole show for me. So I don't know why the RAI website did that, but that was very annoying because obviously it killed any suspense. It did save me 5 hours though. The SanRemo final is extremely long. Everyone in Italy gets to sing one song in the SanRemo final. So first of all, I'm gonna watch Diodato's live performance. I already reacted to his music video in my first SanRemo video. The video I'm watching is not the final. I think it's probably the first or second night. The reason I'm watching this one is because it's the one on YouTube, which means that I am not risking copyright. So a couple of things we're looking out for. We're looking for differences between the live performance and the music video, and also we're looking at what can he cut out, because right now the song is 3 minutes 40-ish, and he needs to cut it down to 3 minutes. So he needs to take 40 seconds out. Wanna know my secret? Bang. Okay, he's got a lovely live voice. Problem with SanRemo is you're quite limited on what you can do on stage. You can't really have props. I don't think you're allowed to have dancers, so it doesn't give us much insight into what he's thinking about for actually doing in Rotterdam. Yeah, okay. I get it a lot more now than I did in the first listen. Thing is, as well, is this is presumably not on purpose, but he's used a couple of words that are the same in English and Italian, like naturale. So you can kind of almost guess some of the things he's talking about. He's got really great energy and performance on the stage. Really passionate, and his voice is like it seems quite effortless. He's got almost like that a little bit, he's kind of got that performance quality that Salvador Sobral had, where like this really intense, you know, obviously he's written the song, which is going to help, but this kind of investment, personal investment in the song. And those kind of like little flourishes are really, really important for a song that's only going to get one time to be heard. Okay, like that's really, really solid. Definitely more enjoyable than the music video. The visuals in the music video were beautiful. I really love the oranges and the blues. With the live performance, you get more of the energy that he's going to bring to Rotterdam. He looks very confident. He didn't look shy or nervous there at all. He looked really invested and in his own world when he was singing that, which is really great. Again, Salvador Sobral was able to take a song that was quite slow and might be considered a little bit boring, and he turned into something interesting because of the quirkiness that he brought. Now, obviously what Diodato is doing there isn't as quirky, but it's what's natural to him, and it definitely makes the performance more interesting rather than if he just stood there completely still for 3 minutes. In terms of what can be cut, I really like at the end where it goes very quiet on the outro. The last minute and a half for me is pretty solid. I feel like he just shouldn't touch that at all, and the 30 seconds that's going to be chopped should come from the start. I hope he doesn't go for the same thing that Francesco Gabbani with, where the second verse was cut and then there was a very short gap between the first and second chorus. I didn't like that with Francesco's song. I'm just going to quickly re-listen to it over again because I do believe there was a bit where he was kind of dancing. I want to see if that is cuttable. Okay, so if you look from 2:35 until 3:02, there's an instrumental now, and the instrumental repeats twice. So very easy to just chop one of those out. That is 27 seconds. So that's going to give him 14 seconds extra. Already halfway there. Now that's a very easy chop. To be honest, you don't really need those two instrumentals. One is sufficient. Let me just see if I can find anything in the beginning that's choppable. Okay, I've looked through it again. Really, there's no massively obvious places that you can chop. I think probably the best thing to do is, if possible, in the first and second verse, maybe just take away 1 or 2 lines from each of them. I don't think it's going to be as difficult as Occidentalis Karma is to cut down. I still think he can keep the essence of it. I like the way the second verse builds up instrumentally and then into the end as well. I really like the outro. I hope they don't cut the outro. He's got a real great performance quality. It's undeniable. It feels like he's acting a little bit, not in that he's being faked, but that he's performing. It's difficult if you're an automatic qualifier and you get to heard once and you've got a ballad, because final is long, 26 songs. People get a little bit mentally fatigued. Upbeat songs tend to give them a bit of an energy boost. Ballads can go the opposite way, so ballads have got that working against them. Having said that, we've seen lots of success. Germany in 2008 came 4th. That was a ballad, but what they did there, the staging was really clever, great performer. This can very much fit into that genre. You know, we've no idea what the staging is going to be yet. We've no clues, but we know that he can perform. If he can perform to that standard with some really beautiful visuals in the background, I think it's pretty safe to say this is going to be top 10. Can this win? I don't think so. It is top of the odds right now, but really we've only had 6 songs released and 2 of those are getting revamped. So we only know 4 songs. I think it's way too early to say that. I don't think this has enough of that X factor. It's undeniably a very solid and beautiful ballad. It's potential win. It's just way too early to say. You can't judge if it's got the potential to win until you see what it's up against. Because if another really super strong ballad comes up like this, they're going to split the votes. So it depends who else is in the competition. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the relationship between SanRemo and Eurovision. Okay, I understand SanRemo is not the Eurovision national final. It is a traditional Italian music festival, and Eurovision has kind of latched onto it. Now, that's fine. The advantage of that is that you do get extreme quality songs going to Eurovision. I think if you ask the Eurovision fans which country sends consistent quality, without doubt, 90+% of people are going to say Italy. There's no, but even the songs I didn't really like Marco Mangiodi. It was a bit too slow for me. I still appreciate that was very worthy of coming 7th. The flip side is, because the Eurovision is a little bit of an afterthought, I think they should do it a slightly different way. So we know that 16 of the 24 artists sign up for Eurovision. You have to submit a form before the final saying whether you're going to do Eurovision or not. Problem with them being mixed is, I think there's a slight element of snobbiness in SanRemo. For example, Elettra Lamborghini. Let's face it, she could have sent the best song ever and she would not have won, because at the end of the day, she's a beautiful young girl with big boobs and she's got a bit of a trashy TV history. So automatically she had no chance of doing very well. Whereas in other national finals where it's Eurovision, you know, that's not that abnormal. She wouldn't be marked down for that. So that's one of the other downsides, is that it's a little bit more limited in terms of who has the capacity to win. Like Elettra's song is, I think it's top 5 on Spotify right now. So obviously a lot of people in the Italian public did like it. Another concern is that there is this disparity between the Eurovision community and what does well. And at the end of the day, that's because they're judging 2 things. Everyone who's voting in SanRemo, they're voting for the SanRemo winner. They're not voting for the Eurovision winner. The Eurovision fans are trying to pick their Eurovision winner. So you're judging 2 different things. Number 1 for the Eurovision fans was Elodie. She ended up coming 7th. You know, if you look at the televote results, Alberto Urso came 2nd in the SanRemo televote. That was the Nordic tenor song. Levante and Rancore were also big favourites among the Eurovision community as well. They also didn't do great. Rancore was 10th. Levante was 12th. You know, Francesco Bani was very popular. He ended up coming 2nd. Diodato was an unpop. You know, at the end of the day, the end result was fine. But I think it's pretty inevitable that we are going to have someone like Tosca or Alberto Urso winning, who's very unpopular in the Eurovision community, getting the ticket, and then the song flopping. And I'm worried the effect that can have on it, that people say, oh, sending this quality songs, which they are, but they're just not massively Eurovision appropriate. For me, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the most Eurovision appropriate song was Elodie Andromeda. That song definitely had the wow factor and instant impact. It's high energy, beautiful girl. Like, it really is like a perfect package. There's no doubt in my mind that could have gotten Italy the win that they deserve. If that was their selection, I'd be confident betting on that now. The reason I took a day to make this video is I didn't want to be bitter because the song I didn't like get through. I respect Diodato's song a lot. I think it's going to do well. So here's my suggestion for what could be done. The first 4 nights, they're introducing their songs. They're trying to suggest to you who might win, but without giving away the results. They give you 1/3 of the results on one night and they give you a second third on another night. They're trying to hint at who's in the running without spoiling it. What they could do is, on the 3rd or 4th night, why not have a Eurovision night where you have an international jury, a different jury from who chooses the SanRemo winner, and then also have an Italian televote. And then this could be put together to choose who goes to Eurovision. That could be in like the third or fortnight. It could almost be like a smaller prize before the actual SanRemo prize. The way that would work is, on that televote, people who don't really care about Eurovision are less inclined to vote. So a lot of the songs we saw this year were directed towards like 50, 60-year-olds, a lot of those male ballads with spoken word. I had a lot of interesting comments on my first two videos from Italian fans explaining to me about the average age of the SanRemo viewer and what they're looking for and why all these ballads are so popular. I presume those are the type of songs which didn't put their name in the hat for Eurovision. And then what we're gonna get a more Eurovision-centric demographic voting with the international jury, and then we'll see that like Eurovision has its own like little part in this instead of kind of being a little bit of an afterthought. So while nothing went wrong this year, Italy have chosen a good song. I think it's going to happen in the next few years that there's going to be a bit of a dud song. You know, when Francesca Michelin won, that song that won, that is an example of one of these kind of like Tosca type songs, but in terms of the demographic, they refused and Francesca came in. I know, I'd just like to see them like separated a little bit. If you had the winner of the Eurovision, that's not going to be who's going to be the winner of SanRemo, but again, it's going to be the same as the first couple of nights where it hints at who is in contention. So I think it would actually fit into their formula pretty well. So what do you think about Diodato's Fai Rumori? I am going to do a final reaction video, but that's going to be on his final song that he submits. Once he's cut it down, I'll do my final video. That'll probably be in a month or so, however long it takes him to produce that. So what did you think about Diodato's song? Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.